This is just a sample of the audiobook. To get the complete audiobook, access the link posted in the first comment.
And then up onto my feet so that I was standing, and what I saw then, at that moment, changed something inside me forever. This may sound incredibly dramatic and hard for you to believe, for a memory to be this vivid or important at such a young age, but I promise you, I remember this as if it was yesterday. I stood on the chair and looked out towards the congregation and saw row after row of people staring back at me. There were probably about 40 or 50 people in the congregation that day, but to my 4-year-old self it looked like a sea of millions. The whole point of me being on the chair was to see Ruth being blessed and the devil being renounced from her soul. But from the moment I saw people looking at me, I don't think I once looked at Ruth or what was happening on the platform, because in my eyes this was no longer a platform, this was a stage. I started to pull faces and dance my arms around, and a ripple of oohs and ahs from the people watching turned into giggles, and giggles turned into laughs as I bent over and looked back at them through my legs. The longer I carried on, the more people were looking at me instead of watching the christening take place. Even the people on the platform were giggling, as I was by now pretending to sing into a microphone. I don't know what happened to my insides up there, but they changed forever. This felt good, really good. As the blessing came to an end, the vicar welcomed Ruth into the church and then turned to me, ruffled my hair and said, "And thank you, young James, quite the little performer." Dad handed Ruth to Mum and tried to hold my hand as he replied to the vicar. "Ha! Quite the little show-off, more like." The congregation started to laugh again, which I took as a signal to raise my hands triumphantly in the air and jump off the chair like it was a climbing frame. Ignoring my dad's help, I landed on my feet to a healthy round of applause. As I stood there, looking out on the clapping audience, I realised, even at the age of 4, that this was the greatest feeling I had ever had. I walked down the steps back to my seat between my mum and dad, smiling the biggest smile. It felt incredible. My whole body was tingling. What was that? What just happened? I thought to myself. And as I sat down between Mum and Dad, staring at the back of the person in front of me, I instantly became bored. I'd had a fix of something incredible, and in a flash it was gone. From invincible to normal in a few seconds. In my head it became simple. If people are looking at me, and only me, it feels amazing. And that was that. From that day forward, every day became a quest to be noticed, to have the attention of people. Of you. Okay, phew. 1 chapter down. Does what I just wrote count as a chapter? It does, doesn't it? Hang on, should my chapters have titles? Isn't that what these sort of books do? Title each chapter with something either profound or witty. I fear mine will be neither. Hang on, let me ring Jack the publisher and ask him if the chapters should have names. Wait there. Answer phone. Hi, you've reached Jack. Well, clearly I haven't. Why do people say that on an answer phone? Hi, you've reached... Surely the reason I'm leaving a message is because I haven't reached you. I didn't leave a voicemail. I'm hoping Jack will see a missed call from me and call straight back. He will, won't he? I'm worried about this book. What should I say or not say? What if you don't believe a word I've said? I'm only thinking this because I've read autobiographies before and found myself saying that. So far, everything I've told you happened actually did happen. The attention-seeking stuff at the christening, that's completely true. Even though I was only 4 years old, from that moment I knew exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to entertain people, to act, sing, dance, everything and anything that would mean people would look at me and smile. Teachers would say this to my mum and dad at parents' evenings and repeat it in my end-of-term report. The end-of-term report, always a horrible day for me in our house, because I would spend most of the term coming home from school and lying to my parents about my academic achievements. "How was your day at school, son?" Dad would ask me. "Oh, it was amazing, Dad. Mrs. Atkinson says I might get moved up a year because my maths work is so advanced," or something equally preposterous would be my reply. "Really?" Dad would say, astonished. "Oh, yeah. All the teachers have said that since the last parents' evening you went to, when they told you about how disruptive I'd been and you came home, shouted at me and threatened to send me to boarding school if I didn't improve, I've been much better and, get this, probably the best in my class." Dad would ruffle my hair, tell me how proud he was and let me have a club biscuit or a trio from the biscuit barrel. I would carry on with these lies all term, mostly because I saw how happy they made my dad. It felt silly to come home and say, "Oh, Dad, I'm a nightmare. I know, I'm only 10, but I'm shit at school." All my lies would have been fine had it not been for the end-of-term report. and the horrible, gut-clenching truth it brought. At our school, everyone used to be given their reports 10 minutes before the end of term.